Good afternoon, DLJ families, and thank you for joining me for our virtual annual Title I meeting. Please be sure to complete the Title I feedback survey at the very end of this presentation. The goal of Title I is a higher quality of education for every child. Its purpose is to address the academic needs of students and to assist them in meeting their state's academic standards. The Florida Department of Education receives funds from the federal government, districts receive Title I funds from the Department of Education, and the school district distributes these funds to schools based on the percentage of children eligible for free reduced price lunch. However, students do not have to be from low-income families to receive help. So Title I is supplementing federal funding that provides additional support, to schools. And so what you see here is some of those supplemental resources that we use. And so we have additional teachers and paraprofessionals that we can utilize, additional training for school staff. We can use those resources for extra time for instruction before and after school programs. We can use some of those funds for parent and family engagement activities and a variety of other supplemental materials, equipment, and technology. And so when we think about our supplemental materials, we also want to think that it is a way of adding extra academic support for learning and creating opportunities for our economically disadvantaged students. Celebrate as a result of Title I support from last school year based on the FAST data and school grades. There's a lot to celebrate. This is a 3-year comparison data for ELA, math, and science. The Title I resources enhanced our ELA math data from the prior school year. And so as I was sharing with you, Title I programs provide supplemental support. So on the left side, you can see some of those resources. Last year, DOJ utilized the MTSS coach. We did begin this year with our coach, and she went on maternity leave. And so we were able to redistribute our Title I funds, and now we have our Title I hourly teachers that we have brought on board as of October. We extend learning opportunities before and after school. We have our parent and family engagement resources and training workshops, and we have supplemental teaching materials that we just purchased through Title I. On the other side of that are the positive impacts we have from the supplemental resources. We are able to extend support to all levels of students. We're able to provide students with another way to connect to our school. Parents feel connected to our school because we are a team, and the additional resources for teachers to benefit instruction in the classroom, which is very key. So Title I school planning and input. So at the end of the presentation, you'll see as I mentioned earlier, you'll see a QR code. And we do want to have opportunities to hear from our families. And so we do first seek input from the school, family, community members to determine how Title I funds are used based on the needs assessment. After that, we attend online or in-person meetings and trainings to complete the surveys and provide input on Title I funding. And lastly, the Title I schools must document that parents are involved in the school-wide planning process. And so the Title I funds this year were already predetermined prior to my arrival, but we will follow this process going into the next school year if we are still identified as a Title I school. Here we have our Title I school budget. Douglas Jamieson was provided with the balance that you see here, $53,952, to pay for supplemental resources and programs for increased student achievement. Keep in mind that this budget was amended. We did have, as I mentioned, an MTSS coach, and as that role was being filled, funds were taken out. And now that the role is no longer on campus, we were able to redistribute the remaining funds into what we see here. We have 2 part-time hourly teachers. We purchased instructional materials and supplies for classroom support in reading, math, and instruction. And then we did stretch some funds to our parent involvement activities, and we had already pre-purchased agenda books and our compacts. So just a little bit of more information. This is just for our parent engagement budget. You see some of those supplemental resources and supports that are there. Again, our parent and family engagement budget is there to obviously increase parent involvement and continue ongoing communication between the school and our families. Parents' right to know. As a parent of a student attending a Pinellas County public school, you have the right to be provided information on your child's level of achievement and assessments in reading, language arts, writing, math, and science. You have the right to request and receive information on the qualifications of your child's teacher and supplemental person working with your child, and that would be our part-time hourlies that we purchased. You have the right to be notified of non-highly qualified or out-of-field teachers at the school. And you also have a right to be informed if your child is taught by a non-highly qualified teacher for 4 or more consecutive weeks. Working together for student success. As a Title I parent, you have the right to be involved in the development of the following plans and documents for your school, which can be found on our website. We have for our school improvement plan. For Title I, we have our Title I school-wide plan. And for parents, we have our parent and engagement plan. And then for the school, our school parent and student compact. So these documents, again, can be found on our school website. Also, Title I is now included as a part of our school improvement plan. So speaking of the Parent School Student Compact, this was already distributed this school year. I know that we are already in Q2, and as I said way earlier, this presentation was planned to occur earlier in the school year. But the purpose of the compact is to foster student achievement. By signing the compact, teachers, staff, parents, and students agree to work together to share the responsibility of helping students meet or exceed state, district, and school academic goals. At the elementary level, school compacts are used as a progress monitoring tool through the year during parent and teacher conferences. And so if you have not done so already, please sign your parent school student compact. It has already been sent home. You can request another copy from your child's teacher if needed. Our goal is 100% participation. Family engagement plan includes information about the following: parent trainings to increase student achievement, staff trainings to engage parents, communication methods between home and school, flexible meeting times, accessibility for parents, and coordinating with other federal programs. So as mentioned on the previous slide, the PFEP ensures that we will provide families with flexible meeting times. So at this point of the presentation, if you could please complete the survey. It's a questionnaire on the best times that you feel would be great to meet to have these conversations focused on student achievement. You can pause the presentation at this time and scan the QR code. So as you know, the state of Florida has our benchmarks, Florida's best standards. We've had these standards for a couple of years now. The Florida Benchmark for Excellent Student Thinking Standards, which are our best standards. There's a link here if you want to read more about this information. But this is where we get all of our curriculum and instruction assessments from that we receive from the district. Here are some of the curriculum that I mentioned to you from the Florida Benchmark for Excellent Student Thinking Standards. And so you can see here, if you've accessed your Child's Clever account, our core curriculum for reading, writing, math, and engineering. We write our own engineering curriculum, but the reading, writing, and math, you see we have High Station, Renaissance, Canvas, Dreambox, Math, and Legends for Learning. So with the curriculum, there is accountability behind that. So we do have obviously our report card grades and our overview of population and enrollment, assessments with academics and seeing how students are growing. We look at our assessments from English language learners as well. Graduation and beyond, so that would be more of a middle and high school. We are accountable for our educator qualifications and equity, making sure that we're reaching our long-term goals, and making sure that we are accelerating course enrollment. And that for us would look like maybe our fifth graders taking middle school courses virtually. And so as a district, we are accountable for all of our data to ensure that we are making those gains for our students. Our Parent Advisory Council, if you are interested, there is a survey here for you to complete. But the district has a parent engagement plan. The summary of the plans in a Title I School and Family Partnership Overview that you can access in the link here. The Parent Advisory Council is responsible for reviewing and revising the district plan, and they meet virtually or in person with the district's Title I staff. Each school is committed to having at least one representative in PAC, and so PAC meets twice a year. So if you are interested, as I mentioned earlier, just pause here and scan the QR code to complete the questionnaire. This concludes our Title I presentation. I really want to thank you for your time, and at this time, I ask that you pause and complete our survey. This is so important. Please take the time to do the survey. It's 10 questions, and it is evidence that this information was distributed to parents. And it's an opportunity, as I said, to give us some feedback on our Title I funds and get insight on how you would recommend us using those supplemental resources to support your child's education. And here is information provided to contact us at the school if you need anything. Thank you again so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day.